So, you've found the perfect venue, you've tasted the cake, and your outfits are ready to go. But before you can truly celebrate, we've got to make it legally binding, right? If you're getting married in Louisiana, understanding the exact paperwork process is absolutely crucial to avoid any last-minute stress. Let's dive right into this explainer and make sure you get the legal details sorted for a perfectly smooth start to your life together.
Because let's be honest, getting married is incredibly exciting. But the bureaucratic side of things? Yeah, not so much. Before we can pop the champagne, we really need to demystify these legal hurdles so you aren't sweating on your big day. We're going to turn this from a confusing government chore into a super manageable step-by-step checklist.
Here's our roadmap to the altar. We'll cover your basic eligibility, gather up your required documents, figure out where and how to actually apply, look at timelines, explore some special cases, and finally wrap up with some frequently asked questions.
Section 1. Eligibility and first steps. Let's see who can actually legally get married.
Now, Louisiana's laws are incredibly strict when it comes to age. If you're 18 or older, you're good to go. You can marry freely without anyone else's permission. But if you're 16 or 17, well, you're going to face some mandatory hurdles. You absolutely need written parental consent, judicial authorization after a private sit-down with a judge, and here's a big one, there can be a maximum 3-year age gap between the minor and their prospective spouse. And for anyone under 16, it's an absolute prohibition. No one under 16 can marry at all under any circumstances.
All right, Section 2, gathering your required documents. Let's talk about what you actually need to bring. Just to give you a taste of the paperwork reality, consider this. While state laws apply everywhere, Louisiana is totally unique because it has 64 parishes instead of counties. Because of that, individual parishes often have their own specific printouts, slight processing variations, and, unique little administrative quirks. You'll definitely want to take notes here because having these exact documents is completely non-negotiable. To get your license, both of you must bring a valid government-issued photo ID. You also absolutely need a certified copy of your birth certificate with a raised seal. Now, a short-form birth card is usually okay if you were born in Louisiana, but the full long form is required if you were born out of state. You've also got to provide your social security details, and finally, if you were previously married, a certified copy of your final divorce decree or your late spouse's death certificate is an absolute must to prove you're legally free to marry.
But what if you aren't a U.S. citizen? Well, it's all about a rule and exception framework. If you don't have a U.S. birth certificate or social security number, you've got to bring a valid, unexpired passport from your country of birth or an unexpired visa along with a Form I-94. On top of that, you need a certified copy of your foreign birth records, and if they aren't in English, they require a certified English translation paired with the sworn declaration from the translator.
Moving on to Section 3, where and how to apply. Time to navigate the clerk's office. A lot of parishes today let you fill out an online pre-application or print a PDF at home, which is a great time saver. But make no mistake, the physical process still requires you to go in person to the parish clerk of court. Oh, and a quick geographic note for you. If you're in Orleans Parish, so New Orleans, you actually apply through the Department of Health at Benson Tower, not the standard clerk. Ideally, both of you need to appear in person to swear to the application, though if one of you absolutely can't make it, your signature can sometimes be notarized in advance.
Let's talk money. $27.50. That is the common, non-refundable fee you're going to see in places like Orleans, Calcasieu, and Jefferson parishes, though across the state, fees generally hover between $25 and $40. Interestingly enough, a specific portion of this fee, $12.50, is legally transferred to the state of Louisiana to fund family violence programs. Just be sure to check your specific parish's payment rules because while some take cards, others are strictly cash or money order only.
Section 4. Timelines and final steps. The literal waiting game.
So there is a statutory 72-hour waiting period in Louisiana before you can actually have your ceremony. In practice, a lot of parishes apply a 24-hour minimum. This clock is basically designed to prevent impulsive decisions. If you're in a massive rush and need to marry immediately, well, this waiting period can only be waived by a judge or a justice of the peace for compelling reasons.
On the flip side of that waiting period is a strict expiration date. Once issued, your marriage license is only valid for exactly 30 days before it expires. If you wait 31 days, you literally have to start the entire process over and pay the fees again. So it creates a pretty tight, specific window for your wedding day.
Here's your final phase mapped out. You secure the license, wait out the mandatory clock, hold the ceremony in person with 2 competent adult witnesses, And finally, make sure your officiant returns the signed paperwork to the clerk within 10 days. That very last step is what actually officially records your marriage with the state.
Section 5. Special cases and alternatives. Let's look at covenant marriages and online options.
Now, this is interesting. Couples can legally opt in to what's called a covenant marriage. It's a unique Louisiana option that requires mandatory premarital counseling with an attested affidavit, and it sets much stricter limits on obtaining a divorce or separation. Instead of standard no-fault grounds, you'd actually have to prove specific fault, like abuse, abandonment, or living separate and apart for up to 2 years. It's a significantly more binding legal contract right out of the gate.
But on the complete opposite end of the spectrum is the Utah online loophole for couples who just cannot meet in person, maybe due to a military deployment, distance, or just convenience. You can legally utilize Utah's online marriage system. Since Louisiana doesn't issue its own licenses online, you apply for a Utah license and literally do a video ceremony from your living room. Under the federal full faith and credit clause, this online marriage is completely recognized across all 64 Louisiana parishes, and it brilliantly bypasses that Louisiana waiting period entirely.
All right, Section 6. Frequently asked questions. Let's bust some common myths.
Let's clarify the rules super quickly. Are blood tests or medical exams required? No. Louisiana abolished that. Do you need witnesses? Yes. You absolutely need 2 competent adult witnesses present at your ceremony to sign the certificate. Does Louisiana recognize common law marriage? No. It absolutely prohibits it, meaning just living together for years doesn't make you legally married. And finally, proxy marriages. Strictly prohibited. Both of you must be physically present at the ceremony, so no stand-ins are allowed.
This legal statute highlights some great flexibility under Louisiana law. You can grab your license at the clerk in one parish, say up in Shreveport, and hold the actual ceremony in an entirely different one, like down in the French Quarter. You aren't locked into marrying in the parish that issued your paperwork, which is pretty great. Just a quick friendly reminder before we wrap up. Bureaucratic laws, parish fees, and operational hours can and do shift. This explainer is an excellent roadmap, but please always verify these exact, current details with your local parish clerk of court or legal counsel before finalizing your plans so you don't run into any nasty surprises.
We've covered the strict age limits, the exact paperwork, the fees, the wait times, and even the loopholes. Hopefully this guide has transformed a stressful administrative hurdle into a manageable, easy-to-follow checklist. Ultimately, getting married might be about boundless love, but making it official? Well, that requires navigating a very strict set of rules. So, as you plan your dream wedding, ask yourself, have you given as much thought to your legal paperwork as you have to your vows?